C3 January 11 question 8. We've got to sketch the graph of cosec x between 0 and 4 pi. Cosec is 1 over sine. Remember, that's the third letter in. Here's an S, so cosec is 1 over sine. Third letter of cot is T, so it's 1 over tan. Third letter of sec is C, so it's 1 over cos. So this is 1 over sine. So I'm going to draw the sine graph first, and I'm going to draw it between 0 and 4 pi. So if I mark in all my pi's, I am going to have the sine curve looking like this, going between -1 and +1. So underneath I'm going to draw the curve of cosec x. I'm going to mark in the 2 pi and the 4 pi, the 3 pi and the 1 pi, and things are also happening at these multiples of half pi's as well. Interesting things. So I'm going to sort of line it up. So first of all, I'm going to look at this point here, and I'm saying this graph is going to be 1 over this graph. So the height here is 1. 1 over 1 is 1. So that will also have a height of 1 at this point here, which is actually pi by 2. Here at pi, it will have a height of 1 over 0, 1 divided by 0. 1 divided by 0 is undefined, it's tending towards infinity. Same thing would be happening here, be tending towards infinity. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have that here, and there'll be an asymptote down here at pi. I'm going to look at this point down here next. Here it's -1 is the height. So this graph is going to be 1 over -1, and 1 divided by -1 is -1. So I'm going to have a point here, level with -1. Here, again, it's 1 over 0, which is infinity. But this time it's approaching infinity by coming from a negative side. So here, for example, this is a very small negative number, and 1 divided by a very small negative number is a very big negative number. So instead of going up the top, this one here will have come down like this. Sorry, that line shouldn't be there. It would have come down here from the asymptote, and again there'll be another asymptote here, comes up to -1 and goes back down again. So what we've actually got horizontal asymptotes here as well, and we can complete this. A similar thing happens here. This comes down, and here this comes up, and these points here all line up. And it says in the question, sketching the graph, there are 3 marks, so they do need to see very clearly that the minimums of these two are at 1, the maximums of these two are at -1, and you do need to label where your values here are, so they can see exactly what is going on. Okay? So, next thing we need to do is to use a sketch to show something, an expression they got on the paper. I'm just going to stop here and just draw a clearer sketch before we carry on. Okay, hoping a slightly clearer diagram is going to help here in part B. It says cosec A equals cosec B, and A is somewhere between pi by 2 and pi. So A is somewhere between pi by 2 and pi. It's going to be somewhere here. I'm just going to choose this point here, which is in the right region, and I'm going to call this point down here alpha. Now it's saying cosec alpha equals cosec beta. So if I put a line, horizontal line across through here, beta has got to be an x value, either here, here, here or here, but it tells me that beta is between 2 pi and 5 pi by 2. So beta is going to be directly under here. And what it's asking now is to express beta in terms of alpha, but it's all to do with the symmetry of what's going on. This distance here, this horizontal distance here, is alpha, because that is how far it is from 0 to alpha. And by symmetry, coming in from this asymptote here at 3 pi, this distance here, this horizontal distance here, is also alpha by symmetry. So this is 3 coming in alpha from 3 pi to get to beta. So beta is equal to 3 pi minus alpha. And that's the fact they wanted in part 2 to do with the symmetry. In part B, the first part of part B, write down an identity for tan 2 theta. It's not one that's in the book, so you don't get a mark just for copying something down, but there is something in the book that will help you. In the book there's an identity for tan of a plus b. Well, it's given in the book of tan of a plus or minus b. And in the formula book that's tan of a plus or minus tan of b over 1 minus plus tan of a tan of b. So if you let b be a, so in other words I'm doing tan of a plus a, and I'm following the top sign here, this will give me tan of 2a. So it's tan of a plus tan of a over 1, the top sign there is minus, tan of a tan of a. So in other words, tan of 2a equals tan a plus tan a, or 2 tan a, over 1 minus tan a times by tan a, tan squared a. So the expression, well, they use theta, so tan 2 theta is going to be 2 tan theta over 1 minus tan squared theta, and you get your first mark for that. Now they're asking you, well, they're telling you first of all that cot of phi equals 4. Well, just straight away, what do we know from that? We know from that that tan of phi must be 1 over 4, because cot is 1 over tan. So we have that fact. Now we've got to work out exact value of tan phi times by cot 2 phi times by tan of 4 phi. Right, the tan of phi we've already worked out, that's a quarter. Cot of 2 phi will be 1 over tan of 2 phi. So to be 1 over this, if I just change all my thetas to be phi's, and 1 over it just turns it upside down. So it's 1 minus tan squared phi over 2 tan phi. And I know that tan phi is a quarter, so it's 1 minus a quarter squared divided by 2 times by a quarter. And if you work that out and plug that into a calculator, you get that coming out to be 15 over 8. So cot of 2 phi is 15 over 8. So we've got that bit, we've got that bit. What we're on now is tan of 4 phi. Well, if we use this formula here, but just sort of double everything, and, well, I'll rewrite it if you like to start with. I'm going to let effectively here, when I want to make, just as an aside over here, I want to make 4 phi equals to 2 theta. So that means every theta is going to be equal to 2 phi. So if I write this formula out here, but change every theta to be a 2 phi, tan of 4 phi is 2 tan of 2 phi over 1 minus tan squared of 2 phi. And I know, well, very easily I can find out what tan of 2 phi is. If cos of 2 phi is 15 over 8, tan of 2 phi, because tan is 1 over cot, tan of 2 phi is going to be 8 over 15. So I can put that in here. This is 2 tan of 2 phi, so it's 2 lots of 8/15 over 1 minus tan of 2 phi squared. That's 8/15 squared. And if you work that out on a calculator, it's 240 over 161. So now what we need to do is multiply the tan phi by the cot 2 phi by the tan 4 phi. And if you multiply those 3 boxed values together, you'll get what you want. And if you do that, you get 225 over 322. And that is the final answer for that question.